a close friend of mine a couple months ago was caught in a sting operation for allegedly showing up to meet with a minor. And I can obviously give more details.
I think I'm good. I'm good on details on that one. I got it.
His marriage might be over.
It should be.
Jail time.
It should
and
be.
I just want to know if I should continue supporting him, and if so, like, how should I?
Oh, man. I think it's going to depend on what the word support means.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by support?
So I think, like, it'd be a little more difficult if we lived in the same place. We currently don't. So that makes it easier to, I guess, have more of like a physical boundary. But I guess because it's been an ongoing thing for the incident was probably 2 months ago or so now. And kind of since he called me and made me aware, he'd gone to jail and kind of everything that he's going through, we've had some pretty consistent like contact, like texting him and just trying to be there to, whether it's sending him like a scripture or, just calling him to check in on how he's doing. And he's asked me to write a character letter for him. And I've known him since, like we were middle of high school and we're in our mid-20s now. But, just wanting to know, like, if, like, I should continue to, like, be there for him, if I need to be taking a step back.
Yeah, I've got some pretty concrete thoughts on this, and I'm trying to decide whether to just let them all out here in this format, but I guess I will. You called, and I've always committed to just being honest. So I had a close friend of mine who called and was dating a woman. And that woman had a teenage son. And the teenage son got caught with a bunch of child pornography. And my buddy called and said, hey, she contacted an attorney. It's going to be $1 jillion, but the attorney thinks we can do this, and this, and then this and this, and get this reduced in X, Y, or Z.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my buddy, you have 2 daughters. You want this kid out on the street? And he got quiet and he said, no. And I said, you can manipulate the criminal justice system. He was just calling to say, hey, man, do I give my girlfriend a bunch of money to whatever? But there was a deeper question. And I said, that's his mom. And so she should sit by him in court and hold his hand. But she should also walk him to jail because he's a predator who hurts kids. And if I'm you and I have a long-term, one of my oldest friends in the world, number one, you got to ask yourself if there have been signs for a long time that you just kind of blew by. And if there are, you got to deal with you on that. The second is sometimes we just get shocked. We get surprised. And I would tell my buddy, I've known you for 20-something years. This stuns me. It disgusts me. But I'm going to call you. And I'll be a contact for you. I will not write you a character letter with the intent of reducing the impact you're going to have on hurting children in the community. So if I have I'm thinking of a couple of my oldest friends on the planet right now, I would tell them directly, I will not write you a letter if this is true. Because you're not who I thought you were, or I've kept quiet and you're exactly who I knew you were. Either way, I can't write a letter in good conscience because you hurt kids. But I'll sit by you during your court hearing. I'll hug you before you go to jail. And I just, and I know that answer is going to get me in trouble with everybody. I don't believe in cutting people off. I also don't believe in lying and trying to manipulate systems, especially when people hurt children.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Definitely. For sure. And it's like, it's so hard, right? Because it's someone that I've known for a while, right? And maybe you hear of these stories and I'm on the other side of it, right? And it's maybe my wife and one of her friends is going through this. I'd be like, you know what that guy's scum of the earth, right? And
two things can be true.
Like,
you can have a friend.
Yeah.
You can have a friend for 30 years or 20 years, and you'll have a ton of great times together. And you've told him a lot of your deep dark secrets, and he's told you yours. And he was in your wedding, and he can hurt children. Both are true. And if you write that letter, you're contributing to him getting out early, potentially, to go hurt another kid. So I'm going to tell you that's on you. The second one is we often start scrambling to try to do something, right? And it's our own, we're just trying to burn activity so that we don't have to grieve the fact that we just lost a 20-year friend because our friend's not a good person. Or our friend did a really evil thing. And you and I both know the odds that he got caught the very first time are basically zero.
Yeah, no, and he kind of had alluded to, right, like there was a lot leading up to it. And the 2.5 years he's been married, pornography issues for a long, long time.
Yeah, there's a lot. 90-something% of men look at pornography.
Right. But
very few men meet.
90% don't cross that line.
That's exactly right. So, he can say everything he wants and paint you a story, whatever. He has and was going to again sexually abuse a child. I'm out.
Yeah.
But I'll sit with you. And I know that sounds weird and messy and whatever.
Right. But I guess is there like any particular like verbiage or like when I'm talking to him, because it's like I feel like I'm almost trying to walk like a tightrope a little bit.
Well, I'm not walking tightropes. He doesn't get that vote in your head anymore.
I mean, like as far as like how I express like my support for him and be there for him while also not, I definitely not condoning the action. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, but here's what you're trying to do.
that.
You're trying to say it just right so he won't get mad or that he won't feel hurt. You can't own that. The only thing you can own from this point forward is who you are and who you are going to continue to be as a person of integrity. And as a person of integrity, I don't abandon my friends. And as a person of integrity, I don't let anybody hurt children.
Yeah.
And so there's not a soft way to say this. And since is he in house arrest or is he in jail right now?
He's monitored. Okay. Yeah. So.
And so if you don't live in the same town as him and you can't have this conversation in person, then you call him on the phone and you say, dude, I've done some soul searching. Here's where I'm at. You're my 20-year friend and I'm going to call you every week. If you go to jail, I'm going to write you letters and I'm going to do my best to visit you. Because friends don't abandon friends. And I cannot write you a letter of support because you're not who I thought you were.
Right.
And I won't write you a letter of support. Are you freaking kidding me, man, after all? Yes. I'm drawing a line. And he might hang up on you and never talk to you again. And then you're going to have to grieve the fact that your friendship wasn't what you thought it was.
Yeah.
And so he's already shown you what kind of friend he is by putting you in this position.
Yeah, no, definitely feelings of like betrayal a little for sure. And obviously like at least on my side, I'm sure, his wife would see more signs of it than I would. But yeah, like just totally caught everyone off guard other than, I'd expect his wife probably maybe had seen signs, but
maybe not. I mean, it's a waste of energy to even go there.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. He does not get a vote. And all I can tell you is what I would do if it was one of my closest, oldest friends.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you don't see a problem as long as it's in a way of, hey, I'm with you. I'm here to support you through this.
I wouldn't use that language.
What you've done.
I would not use the language. I'm here to support you. I would say I'll sit with you in court, but I'm not supporting you. I'm not supporting. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I guess that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with kind of walking that line of
Probably the language I would say is
how
I'm
do I
not
show the love.
I'm not going to abandon
without
you.
like condoning, you know.
I'm
Okay.
not going to abandon you. But I can't support what you did.
For sure.
And so I'm not a believer in abandonment. If I say I'm in, I'm in.
Right.
If I say you're my friend, you're my friend. But that might mean I'm coming to visit you in jail. I'm not going to make up lies with the authorities so that you can potentially go hurt another child. Not going to do that.
Right.
Do you have kids?
No, not yet.
I do. I don't want this guy on the street.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Okay. This is a bellwether moment for you to find out what kind of man you are. And men do not run from messy middles. Men run right into the middle of it. And the messy middle here is I'm not going to abandon a 20-year friend. And I'm not going to lie. Right. And just because you went to church camp with me and did community service doesn't mean you're not also a child molester.
Yeah, they can both be true.
That's right. And right in this case, it sounds like both are true. So that's the best I can tell you, brother. I hate that he put you in this position. So do what you're going to do, man. But I wouldn't abandon a friend, but I'm sure not writing him a letter. And I'm not going to try to get him out of jail, but I'll sit with them as they get sentenced. And I think that's what the world needs more of, less abandonment and more accountability.